99.1FM, keeping your radio in a constant state of redefinition, and now reaching higher ground in Windsor and Detroit.
To the first and potentially last episode of Everything in Between, live on CJAM 99.1 FM. On today's show, joined by my co-host Keighn Vitti.
We're back, Joe. This is it. We made it big, buddy.
We made it big.
We made it big.
So this
From
is
YouTube to radio, next to TV.
Maybe we'll see about that.
We'll see.
So we got quite a little fun little half-hour show for you today. We're going to be talking about some great YouTube creators that we've been kind of up on for the past little while in our lives, and then we're going to go into our other segment, things that make you go and talk a little bit about things that made us go this week.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff that's going on in the world, which I think you'd want to hear to, are we considered adolescents still?
I'd say we're millennials, because this is the show that takes a deep dive into topics of interest to the millennial generation.
Always plug.
Yeah, you got to say that. You got to say
Always
our little
plug.
opener there.
Oh, our little opener?
So, if you guys don't know who we are, which is like
there's a good chance.
Probably a lot of you.
Good chance.
We're just a couple of couple of Joes. Well, there's one Joe, but we're just a couple of third-year digital journalism students and film students here at the University of Windsor. And for our capstone, we started a project that's a weekly video podcast that hasn't been going up weekly, but whenever we got time to put one up, put out 2 episodes usually at a time. One is our main segment called Everything in Between, where we take, as I just said, a deep dive into topics of interest to the millennial generation. And the other show is Things That Make You Go, where it's just us.
Things that made us go,
I don't know, spitballing about some stuff that we thought was cool that week, pretty much. But anyway, like I said before, we're just a couple of students doing some fun stuff. The podcast. Yeah, do you want to hop right into what we're going to talk about today?
Yeah, let's hop right in. So we're going to talk about some YouTube channels that we've seen up and coming. Where each of us, Joe and myself, we're going to talk about 2 that are a bit bigger and then 2 that we feel are on the rise.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and start if you want.
I can go ahead. Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk about is...
So preface this if it's a big channel or a small channel.
Oh, yeah. So this is a small channel. It's called... His name is DGR.
Never heard of him.
Dave Games Recordings, and he's a gaming YouTuber. And to be honest, I've never been to the whole like gaming side of YouTube.
Yeah, do you watch like a lot of Let's Plays at all, or
not really? More so if like a big game comes out and I want to see some like gameplay, maybe lightly. But I've never been like one like, oh my gosh, like I gotta go check out like this gaming video that's coming out. But DGR, he's an up and comer, and he does videos on Super Mario Odyssey and everything else Nintendo related.
And you're a big Switch boy, aren't you?
I'm a big Nintendo Switch boy.
Yeah.
And it is honestly, I've found very few YouTubers who I found to be like a positive kind of force. You know, especially in today's age, where I would say the age of outcry, as it is. Dave Chappelle put it best.
Yeah, nice.
But yes, he's a very positive, very charming, if I may say so myself. Yeah. And he just seems like a nice guy. Makes good content, very interesting, short videos.
Oh, so like condensed, like maybe like 5-6 minutes.
They're like 5-6 minutes. So his whole thing is he'll do like insane jumps or like hard to like how to get to this area from this area, like with certain conditions, like you can't step on the ground or you can't use like the swings.
So he makes it harder for himself.
He makes it hard for himself, and like it is very entertaining.
Man, I used to watch a guy like that. He still makes content. Paperbat VG.
VG.
Back in the day, when I was just a young boy watching some Minecraft videos when it was still in beta. You know, those good old days. Haven't thought about that game in a while, but this guy, he would do something similar. Paperbat VG would like kind of make it interesting. He would set goals for himself and kind of like make these like tell stories and just make the content really enjoyable when you're just watching someone else play a game.
It's honestly,
that's usually not really that like much of an enjoyable experience, but when he did it and he's telling these stories and he's just making it so much more interesting than just sitting there playing a game. I'm going to this next dungeon.
Yeah,
or whatever. No, but it sounds like a similar situation with what's his name?
DGR. His name is Dave, and he's, I don't know. I really enjoyed his channel, and I found myself watching it a lot. Yeah, if you get a chance, go check him out on youtube.com/DGR to go check out some Super Mario Odyssey.
Awesome.
So why don't you go next? Hit me with your
an up-and-coming channel.
Yeah, an up-and-coming channel. Why not?
Yeah. So one of my favorite up-and-coming channels. He's a sketch comedy guy. He's an actor from the States. His name's Gus Johnson, and he posts some hilarious sketches. Like, it's very hard to describe the type of sketch he posts, but like, sometimes he has like longer, like 4 or 5 minute videos. Those are the ones I prefer. But he also has like 6-7 second ones that are just one single joke, and you watch it and you just die. Like, because you're like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. And you could, I don't know. He posted one today where he was looking at a street sign and it said, "Yes, this," or something like that. And so he made a sentence around the street sign, and he kind of like did a little comedy bit that had to do with that. Have you ever seen Primitive Times or Primitive?
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
So just to preface this a little bit, Primitive Times or Primitive Technology, it's one of the two. They both are actual channels, but they make similar content. Just this one guy who goes into the woods and makes like incredible things, like a furnace out of like woods objects and stuff like that, like rocks. And it's really interesting. It's like Survivor, but like without all like the weird like crew and stuff that's following him around. There's no like people helping him out. It's a guy and a camera in the woods making cool stuff. Anyway, Gus Johnson decided to do a parody of this called Primitive Times Rocks. And it's him in his tighty whities in his backyard carrying around rocks, making sounds, and like just being a really weird dude.
Kind of like as maybe a How to Basic kind of feel?
A little bit, but like not so much that it seems like he's copying him. Like, it's just the funniest situational comedy I've seen in a while, and he's definitely on the come up right now. I think he only has like 300,000 subscribers, which is like, that seems like a lot. Like, it is a lot, but it's kind of low when we're talking about
in terms of like
people we're
today,
also going to be talking about later in this episode. But yeah, Gus Johnson, check him out if you want to get a good laugh on YouTube. Awesome. Do you have another low tier creator?
He's not really low tier. He recently hit, I think, 1 million subscribers. He has a little over 1 million now. I think like 1,100,000, something like that. I don't even know how you pronounce that. 1,100,000.
I don't know. When I see someone hit 1 million, like that's when they've achieved it.
You've achieved status.
Yeah.
You've achieved it. His name is ProZD, and
I have not heard.
He is I wouldn't really say gaming, but he does like little he does vines essentially on YouTube. Like his videos
are like
Viner
before.
He was a Viner, yeah, and he did like.
I have another channel to talk about after.
He did more like I want to not say like nerdy, but he did more like pop culture themed stuff. So like he'll center around on like one of the ones he did was like he made fun of protag like you know in a show how like there's that one character like
protagonist.
They're really not that interesting in the beginning.
Oh, like and they hot characters.
Yeah, like they
dynamic.
Like they suck, and like they're and like you really don't like them, but then they come really cool. Like in like let's say like season 2, he does like a little sketch around that, and he's really interesting, and his videos are very funny and very interesting. So he'll do like topics around like video games,
so anime, it's kind of like a man in front of a camera.
Yeah, but like he's really like immersive with it. Like it's very like these are quality vines, and like his videos are honestly like 10 seconds long.
Oh, so similar to Gus Johnson.
It's literally it's really interesting, and it's funny. I don't know. I really enjoy that like short spurts of humor.
Yeah,
and I think as like a viewer and as a creator too, because you can see it from both sides. I think as a viewer, you get that better punch. You know what I mean? Things are fresh. Things are a lot more crisp rather than like a 10 or even 5 minute sketch, which is pretty common.
Yeah. And like, I'm the type of guy, if I like the creator, I'll watch the full video.
Yeah.
Whether it's a 2.5 hour podcast or it's a 7-second video like we were just talking about. Like, I'll watch the whole thing, and like to have someone be able to kind of express their whole channel meaning through 6-second videos rather than the whole 3-hour podcast. Like, I think that's awesome.
It's really cool. And I actually have a question for you. Sorry, not straight off topic, but this is a little bit. How often do you subscribe to a channel?
That's a good question, actually. Like,
Because I know I keep up with channels, but I don't necessarily subscribe to them.
Like, if you were to ask me when the last channel I was subscribed to, I would say today, because I did subscribe to someone today.
Who'd you sub to?
I don't know his name. It's some like a Premiere Pro like guy.
Oh, one of the tutorial guys. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
No, I like supporting those guys, but the last like main channel that I subscribed to, I couldn't think of it other than the one I just told you about. But I don't know. What about you?
Me, that's the same thing too. Like I will like for me it's weird. I like rather than subscribe, I'll keep up with a channel. Like I'll just know to kind of go with them.
Like the algorithm kind of like puts them in your feed regardless. So it's like,
well, if you watch them enough, like they'll just keep popping up there. Yeah. Like if you watch one Watch Mojo video, your feed's Watch Mojo for the next 3 months.
Thank God I don't watch Mojo.
I did a couple of them. I really like those top 10 lists. They really get to me.
I'm not a fan of those. Do you have anything else you want to talk about for the guy you're just talking about?
No. His name's ProZD. Go check him out if you're into video games, anything pop culture related, anime. It's all that good stuff. And his videos are really funny. And if you miss Vine, go check him out because they're essentially Vines on YouTube.
Awesome. So my next lower level YouTube channel that I'm talking about, I believe they have about 54,000 subscribers or something like that. But they deserve so much more. Their names are Colin and Samir. And they make short little documentary type vlogs, but they're more so like life experiences in their vlogs, and all of their videos really do have a meaning. Like there was this guy named Jack Keighn, and he used to work for a guy we're about to talk about, actually, Casey Neistat. But his company Beam, which was bought up by CNN, they kind of all jumped ship, and there was a big ordeal going on over there when Beam shut down. Well, they didn't shut down. They just kind of like transferred assets over mainly to CNN. And a lot of people got their jobs, lost their jobs.
Yeah, but I hear they're not that active, though, Beam, too.
I was looking at their view count, actually.
Yeah.
You could see the drop from when they separated, and it's like, I don't know how much longer that's going to last.
I don't know what really CNN hoped to get from Beam.
Yeah, it seems as if they've killed it. But we can talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
We have a talking point for that. But so anyway, when Beam shut down, one of the guys who lost his job was this guy named Jack Keighn. Now, he was kind of a colleague of Casey. He used to work for him back in the day before his whole daily vlog kind of blew up.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and he decided to go out on a whim, get an RV, and travel around the United States.
Yeah.
Beautiful idea. I commend him for that idea. And he hit up these guys who make videos they got their attention, or they got Jack's attention by making a video kind of dissecting Beam and what they were doing right and what they could do better. Those guys were Colin and Samir. So when they heard the news that Jack was done at Beam, they linked up and they will travel around the country together. Jack making his show about traveling the country in an RV and his experience doing that, and Colin and Samir making a show around Jack called the Jack Keighn Chronicles. And that show kind of like looked at Jack Keighn in a way that no other YouTuber has been looked at before. Like from channel birth to like 100, like he hit 100,000 subscribers, I think, in a day because he got a shout out from Casey Neistat.
That's crazy.
And that's like unreal channel growth.
What do we have to do to get a shout out from Casey Neistat?
Maybe talk about it more on our podcast. Like, no, but just awesome stuff from Colin and Samir. They recently put out a video with a channel called Yes Theory. Are you familiar with them? I wasn't until yesterday when I saw this video, and the Yes Theory guys, they just say yes to everything. I guess that's their whole shtick.
Is that that's their gig?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And like they kind of linked up with them, and they went to a dinner. They turned their whole house into the highest rated bar in Los Angeles.
Are you serious?
Just for one night. Like that was their thing. Like, let's turn our house into a wine and dine restaurant with a band, waiters, cooks, just for one night, and let's make it the highest rated place to eat in LA.
Actually, speaking of that, have you seen that one Vice video where they do the same thing but in the UK?
I love Vice.
They open up a fake restaurant.
Premier news source Vice.
the premier news source Vice.
If you didn't understand that, that's something we usually say.
That's a Easter egg for the longtime listeners.
Yeah.
Respect. All 10 of our
pounding my chest and letting out a peace sign right now.
All 10 of our YouTube subscribers. I hope you're all listening.
Yes.
But anyway, as I was saying, but like this one Vice thing, in the UK they set out to open up the UK's highest rated restaurant without actually cooking or having anyone be seated. And it's crazy.
Really?
They made a fake restaurant, and they created buzz around it using a couple like fake reviews. It circulated. People tried getting reservations, and they oh my God, what happened after that? Sorry. So the fake reviews circulated. Then people tried calling this place trying to get in, and it became sort of like this elusive mystery, if you will. And like people
what is the buzz around this place?
People started writing fake reviews saying they'd been there and the food was amazing, and it was crazy.
That's awesome.
Like, how do you do that?
That's insane.
Like, that is nuts.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, as I was saying,
yeah,
check out Colin and Samir. Those guys are awesome. They're on the come up, and they seem to be doing. I can add one thing actually to that. They recently started to do a weekend film fest. So every week they post a topic on Twitter with the hashtag Weekend Film Fest, and they give you like guidelines to follow. So one was make a video without sound, one was make a video about travel or something, and they're putting that out every week, and people can just submit to them, and then they're making a video every week to like kind of show off other creators and like what they made. I don't know. They're kind of like trying to like make this community kind of like a really like interactive thing, like from across the world too. Like, and it's pretty crazy. But we can talk a little bit about that later.
They sound smart though in that regard. Like, best way to get a big thing is to definitely build your audience in that regard.
Exactly.
And like get people to actually care, because that's, I don't know, especially too for us. I guess I don't know if we'd call ourselves fellow YouTube creators.
I guess you
could say that. I don't want to give myself that tag at all. But no, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think the hardest thing for us, at least, you know, just speaking on like the back end things, is, you know, actually building that audience and, you know, getting the viewers to actually say, why should I tune in? Why should I watch?
Exactly.
And it's, I don't know, it's cool seeing people do stuff like that.
Yeah, no, really. And they're doing a great job with that. Do you want to
I haven't heard him, yeah. I'll check them out. Well, my next one is more of a popular YouTuber, and I know we have a little gripe on this because I wanted to talk about him, but I don't think their content's that good anymore. It's H3H3 Productions.
Oh my God.
And okay, this is my saving grace about them. I think he has the best podcast on YouTube.
I agree.
I think he has the best podcast on YouTube, but I think
other than this podcast.
Yeah, other than this podcast. But other than that, like his content slipped. Like, it's not
for his main channel. You're talking
for his main channel. It has slipped, and it is not where it used to be, and I think it's really disappointing because you say so. Like, for those of you who don't know, H3H3 Productions is a satirical commentator. I would say would be the best around kind of like social issues online.
Yeah,
I'd say that's the best way to describe him.
Yeah,
a lot of like memes and jokes are created, and a lot of he shot up pretty fast, I remember.
Yeah, no,
they got popular quick.
Well, no, it took them a bit actually. Like, it took them a bit to hit like 10,000, and then once they hit 10,000, they kind of like just kept going.
I remember because I remember when they had around like 1 million subscribers, and within like a year, they're already at like 4 million, like 4.5.
They're on trending with every video.
Like, yeah,
both on their podcast and on their main channel.
It's crazy.
They are huge now, but like you guys, if you're not familiar with the name, rather, but you might be familiar with a few videos they made. Vape Nation's a big one. Like, that was a huge one.
Yeah.
What's
Papa John Pizza. I know that's
Ethan joins a boy band is a big one. Yeah, Ethan joins a boy band. That's one of my favorites.
It's one of his bigger shticks is oh my gosh, but Papa John's Pizza, where he makes fun of Papa John caffing and his son Bo.
Yeah,
that's.
Pretty
that's
funny,
like classic, you know what I mean? That's like classic, like videos, and like just seems like it seems like he's kind of lost that and he's trying to emulate.
Well, they have
his old videos.
There was a long period where he wasn't uploading.
No, and I know he made like a video about that, explaining, you know, like being creatively burnt out and all that stuff, which like I understand, I get, but at the same time, like it hasn't felt the same.
No, like I really liked. So we just dropped one video.
I saw the Facebook one,
but the one before that. I forget what the main topic of it was, but it was hilarious. And he just used this green screen behind him this whole time, and he puts a green screen suit on, and like
I think he goes into
wild,
he makes like a satirical comment on blackface, I think. And then is that the one where he put powder on his face and he was around whiteface?
No, I think that was one of his other ones, but something like that. It was just a funny video.
I don't know. He does do some funny stuff, but like just some of his, I haven't been feeling it. I'm disappointed.
I think it was the one where it's like marijuana is now a racist term or something like that. And
I think that is the one.
The people at Now This or something.
Oh yeah, they were talking about how I know.
There's like a big thing. I think that's what the topic was.
Yeah.
But yeah, So you think they're kind of dipping down in their content?
I think they're dipping down their content, and
I understand.
It's disappointing, but I love his podcast. I will say his podcast is
and it seems like that's where they're putting their main focus now. And
a lot of people,
I don't mind that.
A lot of people are jumping back on a podcast.
As long as he's posting like consistent content, like I'm happy because he makes such great stuff.
Do you want to move on to the next segment to kind of wrap things up, or do you have another?
I have one more. So we can just do one big segment. Awesome. So we're going to hop into a little PSA, actually, for CJAM.
Gotta show love.
Gotta show love to the CJAM. So, yeah, we'll be right back.
Attention, Windsor Detroit musicians. CJAM wants you. Each and every month, CJAM creates a local singles compilation exclusively for programmer use. At the end of each month, we tally up the plays and make a chart of top local tunes. Join the CJAM FM Singles Club today and get your music on the radio. Submit your fresh, new tracks to cjammd@gmail.com with the subject line, Singles Club. You could find yourself at the top of CJAM's monthly local chart, the CJAM Singles Club. Just another way we reach higher ground in Windsor and Detroit. More information at cjam.ca.
And we are back. That wasn't very long, little break, but anyway, so we were just talking. We're just going to continue our conversation, then hop into our next segment real quick. So the last rising channel that I want to talk about is one that I've been watching for a few years now, and I've really watched them grow. That channel is from Complex and First We Feast, and it's Hot Ones.
Great channel.
It's a show hosted by Sean Evans, who is one of the best interviewers I've ever seen in my life.
It is crazy how
he's just so casual and knows his stuff. He's amazing. Anyway, to the point of the show, you sit down with a celebrity or someone else. Well, Sean does, and right in front of them, 10 chicken wings, and right in front of each chicken wing, 10 sauces, and the sauces get increasingly hot. So
crazy levels of hot.
Their tagline is the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. So as he asks them questions, they have to eat a hot wing with some pretty crazy sauces. I've had one of the top ones that I hear people complaining about being way too hot. It's called Da Bomb.
Yeah.
One of the craziest sauces I've ever had in my life.
Have you tried it?
Yeah. I used to have it at my work. I work at a restaurant.
How hot is it?
Actually. It's pretty insane.
Really?
I'm pretty good
to
with
the point where you can't enjoy it?
Yeah, but I'm pretty good with my spices, so I can take it down like a man, I guess.
Yeah.
No. But I don't know, I enjoy hot stuff, so I don't mind it, and I enjoy the pain kind of, which sounds really weird, but I've seen people tap out when they have even a little toothpick full of that stuff.
Well, I love Hot Ones. I started tuning in, I think, a year and a half ago, just when they started getting big, and the one thing I really appreciate is it's such a good interview format. Because if you want to get on a technical level, the hot sauce, it throws the interviewee off. You know what I mean?
And they can answer questions.
They can answer questions they may not answer.
No, it's great.
It's such a well thought out format where it's fun, it's enjoyable, but at the same side, there's a lot of deep interview psychology behind it.
No, there really is.
And it's so cool to see that.
Do you have a favorite guest of that show?
Oh, favorite guest.
We're going to hop into our next segment real quick.
I enjoyed Michael B. Jordan's segment. On there, he was pretty cool.
You're a big Michael B. Jordan.
I love Michael B. Jordan. He's just such a cool guy. Wish we were friends.
My favorite one, Charlize Theron.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
She's dropping F-bombs all over the place. She just doesn't care, and it's hilarious.
She is
she's just hilarious. You wouldn't think that Charlize Theron is the funniest person in the world, but she just might be.
I'd actually love to see her in a comedy.
She probably has been in a comedy, but
a good comedy.
Yeah, she's awesome. Anyway, that's all the conversation we have for this first segment. Let's hop into our next segment.
Things that make you go, Nailed it. Every time we get it. We just sync up.
So Keighn, what made you go, this week?
Well, something that I think both made us go, this week is another YouTuber, because why not just keep the format of the song?
Yeah, keep the theme.
But anyway, Casey Neistat started a new company.
Yes,
368.
So Casey Neistat, very popular YouTuber who has
golden boy of YouTube, I would say.
I would say right now he is the golden boy of YouTube. Yeah, he just every time I check his channel, man, it's he's got another million. I remember crazy. I started watching the one video that I first clicked on of Casey Neistat was his 1 million subscriber special. And then after that, I was hooked, and I went back, watched all his other vlogs. Like, his vlogs are very like
cinematic.
Yes, but no at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, more cinematic than what you think of a vlog when you, like, someone's holding the camera up in front of themselves. Like, but he knows about composition. He's a filmmaker. Like, and like, I went back and I watched his show called The Neistat Brothers on HBO that he made with his brother, obviously, as the title suggests. But that's a great show too, and you can see where he gets his style. It's like very much still in that show from like 10 years ago.
That's crazy.
And he's bringing the show back now after a little hiatus he took, because after Beam, after the whole situation, that we kind of
rest in peace, Beam.
His news company that was acquired by CNN. Nothing really worked out for them. So he kind of dipped and he started his own thing, and it's called 368. And it's a big creative hub. So he dropped his first vlog today. And I guess that's the main thing he's going to be doing is vlogging. But now he's got a 3-floor space on Broadway in New York.
It was the former Beam.
Is that the former Beam office? I wasn't sure, but
it's the former Beam office.
Yeah.
Which also too, not
it's huge.
Yeah, it's massive. It's massive.
And it's just it's insane, and like I'm looking forward to watching those videos on the daily now, because that's what he's going to be doing. That's his full-time job now.
It's crazy that the fact that like this guy sold the company. I don't know if he must have made a insane amount of money off of it.
Well,
I know
they
it's sold.
bought the company from him for $25 million, so
that's crazy.
Yeah, but that was before he got
but something real interesting is like, I'm glad he kept the space though, because you think about it, like I'm sure he leased that place out for a while. I'm sure he would have just been sitting on his hands
at this point, man.
Like, no, he said in the vlog it's leased. It's leased out to his name.
Okay,
which is crazy.
What he's trying to do with this series is kind of like show off other creators and do collaborations every day. Like,
maybe we can get featured on there.
Yeah, let's try and go there. That'd be awesome, actually. But so he's got an editor, his friend from South Africa, where his wife's from, I think, and he's helping edit the videos every day. And then he's got his neighbor, Sam Shepard, who's another creator. He's good on Instagram.
Sam Pepper
actually.
Or Sam Shepard?
No, not Sam Pepper. Sam Shepard. Okay. He's pretty cool. He's got a nice Instagram, actually.
Okay, really?
Yeah, he's got good stories on his Instagram.
Wow.
He's one of the people who's doing that right. But yeah, do you want to add something real quick before we run out of time?
No, I mean, it's so cool to see like people doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like I know he calls it like a failure that like he sold the company and he I guess he got canned from it, but like, is it really a failure if you made $25 million? Which, I mean, I assume like there must be payouts, I assume there must be costs you have to cover, but you can assume he at least made a couple $1 million. Let's say in the most extreme case.
Yeah, his net worth is fine.
His net worth is fine. Okay. So is it really a failure if you make that much money?
I don't know. But
would you be happy if you made that much money, unless say one of your projects failed?
Absolutely.
Yeah, same here. Joe, like I say every single episode, you're not winning unless you're selling out.
That is maybe not true, but
you know what, Joe? To be honest, I'm sure a $2 million paycheck in your bank would make you do just about anything.
Maybe you're right. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to the first and maybe last, but maybe we'll see, edition of Everything in Between, the show that takes a deep dive into topics of interest to the millennial generation. I've been your host, Joe Steiner.
And I've been your host, Keighn Vitti. This is going to be, I guess, the last time you hear from us. It's kind of sad.
Maybe. Well, we have another couple episodes in the pipeline.
That's true.
They're coming out over the next few days.
Yeah, just to tide you over.
Subscribe to us at Everything in Between on YouTube and at ENB Pod on both Twitter and Instagram. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you online.
Yep.
Darkness in me, and it's quite amazing. Life and death is no mystery, and I want to taste it. Step inside of my mind, and you'll find curiosity, animosity, high velocity, high hypothesize meditation. Reminisce on my wonder years.